20 minutes north of Bolzano, that famous North Italian mountain bike town. We're deep in the Dolmites to bring you this week's EMBN show. And you can see we're surrounded by some stunning mountains. There's still a lot of snow in them. We've got 5 days riding e-bikes. Can't wait. So welcome to the South Tyrol. We're here at the Shimano E MTB Experience. 5 days of riding e-mountain bikes in the Dolmites. Absolutely stunning environment. So we'll be riding a variety of e-bikes from different manufacturers. That means different motors, different wheel sizes, different frame sizes, different colors, everything. And we'll be traveling from town to town on like high level routes, tackling a variety of different tracks. So there's like easy, medium and hard routes for different skill levels. But yeah, we're going to bring you more of the tech from this event later in the show. A bit of feedback from other videos we did in the last week. This is from Ollie in Nuremberg in Germany, who got pretty inspired by a video which we did with Chris Smith recently. Ollie is sending it on some pretty big rocks and gaps out there in Germany. Fair dues, Ollie, thanks for sending this in, and tops it off with a few bits of free ride, a no-hander and no footer. Nice one, Ollie, thanks for sending your photographs in. And if you've got any photographs of your experiences, your free ride, your high mountain routes, don't forget to send them in to EMBN. Had some fantastic feedback from last week's show where we covered your e-bike anxieties, and we've had a load of responses, both positive and negative, from all parts of the world. I'm going to go through a couple of them. This is from Lee Dove. Lee says, let's end the cheating crap once and for all. Dictionary definition of cheating is to violate rules or regulations. So what rules are being violated by riding an e-bike? Fair dues, Lee, that's bang on the money. So this one from Jonathan French. Cheating, I keep being told that it's for lazy or for old people. These are friends of mine that pay for the uplift. That this is lazy? Well, yeah, the uplifts actually chock-a-block in the Alps at the minute, just as we speak. Whistler, all the kind of alpine locations. So yeah, it's the same kind of thing. Dirk van Zyl, I found I enjoy riding my normal bike a lot more from the skills I've learned on an e-bike, downhill, etc. Also, and people don't believe this always, but the e-bike has improved my fitness and strength a lot, and I find myself pedaling a much smoother cadence than before I had my e-bike. And I actually agree with you there, Dirk. I think definitely my fitness has not gone down in the last 2 to 3 years, because I find myself going for harder rides and for more times during the week. Also ride my road bike as well. So I think yeah, it's all about getting out as much as you can. Liam Egg came up with a great comment. I don't care what this is in relation to what Martin said about what your mate's going to think, and Liam Ag says, I don't care what my mates think. I've been lagging behind them for years. I can't wait to get an e-bike. So there you go. That's a future e-biker. On In Depth this week, we recently spoke to Klaus Fleischer, the CEO of Bosch e-bike systems, on the future of e-bike racing and how it should be managed. Klaus, there's some big questions and challenges facing e-mountain bikes over the next 10 whatever years. I think one of the key things is how important is it for a body such as the UCI to sanction e-bike events rather than they come from, say, the motorcycle side of things?
As we saw that e-mountain bikes get more popular year over year, we also discovered that there are more race events all over Europe. And in every country in Europe there were initial e-bike racing formats, and they were all in experimental stages because no one knew which format would work and no one knew how to define the proper regulations. And when we discussed this with the associations in the different countries, Germany, France, Italy, we discovered two things. One is that the UCI did not take the ownership and put out a statement that they want to provide an umbrella for the regulations of e-bike racing, because the UCI thought this is cheating.
Yeah.
This is like doping for the Tour de France.
Yeah.
It is like the e-bike or the electrical motor is cheating for mountain bike events. Yeah. And with that, the national chapters were left alone, and there was basically the door open for the FIM, for the Motorbike Federation, to step in.
Yeah.
And they tried to basically put their forces and power into e-mountain bike racing, especially the enduro kind of events in France and in Italy. And we got alerted that this might be a situation that leads to a negative image for e-mountain bikers.
Yeah, for certain things such as trail access and to all the things that mountain bikes have worked so hard to guard over the years, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So for us, it's very important that we see e-mountain biking as cycling. So it's pedal assist. So we do everything which you can do with a pedal. Yeah. And the motorsport and motorbike guys, they have their footrest and they have their throttle.
Yeah.
And this is where we should clearly distinguish in between.
And time for climb of the week, and what a better location than in the shadow of the Dolomite Mountains. Now, with Fort William World Cup only a few days away, we thought this is quite appropriate from Chris Roberts, who's the organiser of enduro, downhill and e-bike events in the UK. Now, Chris recently took his high bike up to Fort William to tackle the downhill, but he rode up the red route just to check out how difficult it was. And just look at the rocks on this ascent. It really is super technical. And he did a Strava of the actual route. Took him 43 minutes to get up and down. Now, bear in mind, that's a 1,200 foot climb he had on there. So quite a significant day out on the hill for Chris Roberts. Chris, thanks for sending that in. It's incredible how many new e-bikers we're finding on the local trail centre where we film a lot of our EMBN how-tos. Now, Kat Crimmins, who is the manager of Pedal Bikeway here in the Forest of Dean, was actually worried about buying an e-bike because she was 4'11", and so I said, look, you need to buy a Specialized in size small or similar, and here she is. Going to ask her a few questions about her purchase. So Kat, what did you get? You got a turbo lever, right?
It's a small turbo levo. Obviously being 4'11", I was really worried about getting a man's bike. Luckily I had a chat with you. I popped down to one of the Specialized concept stores, swung my leg over and ordered one there and then. What I really like about it is that it's really put the passion back in mountain biking for me. I've had knee surgeries, and so it's always been quite difficult with getting the pedaling and everything, but with this, literally all the pain's gone. I'm riding loads of miles. I'm out with my friends again, biking, so it's great.
So who'd you go out riding with?
Well, just recently, last week in fact, I did the Brecon Beacons Gap Road, and there was myself, there was another guy who's in his early 30s, there was Clark, he was in his late 50s, myself in my 40s. We all rode together on the apps, had a chat, we nailed it on the descents, and it was lush.
Yes, indeed, here we are at the Shimano E Mountain Bike Experience, and it really is a paradise for mountain bikers in so many respects. The kit that's here, the environment, it really is off the chart. So we're going to take you for a quick run around the pits to see the brands and the bikes here in the mountains. Here we are at the Scott tent. This is the E-Genius. This is a 150mm travel bike, so that's here for everybody to try out, small, medium, large and extra large. However, it's the Spark that's the bike I really want to try out because I've never been on one before. Now the Spark comes in at 120mm travel front and rear, super lightweight, and again, 4 sizes. Husqvarna have got a good presence here in the mountains, and they've got the Mountain Cross bike. I've never ridden this before. Really interested in giving it a try, and of course it's the one that's got that flexible battery in the down tube. Now, as I mentioned earlier, this really is an incredible place for e-bikers to come out and try all the latest equipment. I mean, check out this Ghost Slammer. It's only a couple of weeks old since the press release. Carbon front end on this, 29-inch wheel front wheel, 27.5 plus on the back. Feels really good, and as the cameraman says, it feels really planted. Got a coil shock on it. I think it's a really neat bike. Cannot wait to get out on the hill on this one. Now if we're talking tech, check this out. We're at the High Bike booth here at the Shimano E Bike Experience in the Dolmites, and High Bike have got 180 different types of e-bike. Now obviously not all those models are here, but still there's a great range here from 120 to 150 and 180. High Bike do carbon bikes, aluminium bikes. Here we've got Bosch motors, Yamaha motors, and a huge amount of sizes from small, medium, large through to extra large. It's a fantastic place to come and check out tech. Now Focus bikes are here in force at the Shimano E-Bike Experience, and most of the bikes they have here are Shimano only motors. Now they've also got a range of bikes from 27.5 plus through to 27 up to 29. But the really interesting thing about Focus is the fact that not only have they got the 378 watt hour battery in the down tube here, which gives you a good range, they've also got this bolt-on battery which gives you an extra 378 watt hours. Now I've never actually held one of these in my hand, but it's actually blown me away how light and easy to carry around it is. So all you do is, I mean, we've done this before, you just bolt it on and it's job done. Can't wait to try it out over the next few days. And so it's bike vault time in this beautiful background of people wandering around in their dressing gowns. And you know what, I feel a little bit lonely because I haven't got Martin Ashton or Neil Donahue to give me some banter. So I'll dive straight in, and this is from Cody in Orange County. Cody's got his Giant there, deep in the bush, nice background, hot climate. Cody, I'm going to give you a nice for that one. And closer to home, back in the Isle of Wight, Dale Brown, yeah, on a bit of driftwood there. Nice black. I think you could have maybe kind of brought the bike a little bit further down. Yeah, Dale, do you know what? I'm going to give you a nice for that as well. Dave Ellsworth, Isle of Wight. Dale, I think that is absolutely bang on. You can see the bike really clearly. How you balance, you got a stick to balance it up there. Nice and again. Do you know what? Dale, I'm going to give you super nice for that High Bike. Fantastic. Moving on. I don't know what the neighbours are doing with their dressing gowns in the background. Looks like they're taking a dip in the pool. This is from Dave Walker on Lake Geneva, not too far away from where we are today. It's another High Bike, yeah, High Bike at sunset. What do you reckon, Phil? I reckon that's a super nice as well. Yeah, do you know what? I'm going to give it 2 super nices in a row. How about that then? Take that, Martin Ashton. Whoa. Glenn Blacker in the Brecon Beacons on a moustache. Now we don't get many moustache bikes on this show. A little bit of fire road action. I can see where you're going with that. What? Do you reckon I could do 3 super nices in a row? Martin would go mental. He'd go absolutely mental. And do you know what? Sod him. Here we go. 3 super nices in a row. And here we go. Greg Tyndall in Norris, Tennessee. Greg, I think I can't actually see because it's a little bit underexposed there. Sorry, Greg, I can't give you a super nice for that. Send another one in next week with a bit more exposure on it. Whoa, Johannes in Germany, and there's no doubt with that background, and looks like you've got it propped up with an aerosol can. That Canevo has got to be, it's got to only go one way. That's definitely a super nice. Nice one, Johannes. Moving on, where are we? Oh, look at that cute little puppy. Mark Fisher with Peggy the Trail Dog in Winlatter in the Lake District. I mean, how can you not love a little puppy, little trail dog on the trail? Looks like a Rocky Mountain altitude. Sorry, the kind of sun is burning so brightly here in the Dolmites. The horizon cuts the bike in half. I'm sorry, Mark, you're gonna have to send that one in again. The dog, the poor little pup will be mortified. Yeah, oh, I'm on the edge. Phil, shall I go nice, super nice? Nice, okay. And here we have Mike Johnson in Boulder City, Nevada. Whoa, that looks hot, doesn't it? Oh, do you know what? A little bit overexposed, that one, Mike. I'm gonna give that a nice. And Sander Bosman in Spikenese. Spikenese, where could that be? Is that in Finland? I don't know. I'm gonna give that a nice. And finally, crikey, how many have we got in the bike vault this week? This is from Townsville, Australia, and it's from Stuart Osborne, the long way or the rock and roll way. Oh, that's a new Specialized Canevo Troy Lee Designs version. That has got to be super nice. And that's it for the bike swap from an amazing location in the Dolomite Mountains in northern Italy. Thanks for watching the show. Keep an eye out for the Shimano E mountain bike experience, which should be quite an adventure. For more e-bike videos, there's a great one, 1000 Foot Dead, where I take on Specialized Georgia Leslie, 54 kilos versus 94 kilos. Doesn't take much imagination to know what happened there. Please give us a thumbs up if you like the show, and please don't forget to subscribe if you've not already done so.